Hello, this is Maria with another video tutorial for the MP Designs class to go for the Christmas card class. This tutorial is on this slimline card. I love making slimline cards. Now there's many different sizes for the slimline cards. This one, and it's my favorite. This one is 7 by 9, scored at 3.5. which gives you a lovely slimline card. The envelope takes a regular business envelope, although there are many tutorials online that can show you how to make your own. So let's look at the supplies. And the cards come in kit form if you sign up for the class. And in the kit, there will be a card base, which is Pear Pizzazz. There's your base. And there will be 2 pieces of basic white. One will fit on the front, and that's 3 1/4 by 8 3/4. There'll be 2 pieces. There will also be 2 pieces of, this is the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper. 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. There's one for the outside, one for the inside, which makes it easy. And you will have a die cut sentiments. This is the base, which is in mossy metal, and this is on top, and it's Pear Pizzazz. I'll poke a few of these out. I know that bugs some people. It bugs me too. And you will also have, and this is important, you will have a little plastic bag with little embellishments, die cuts in them. There's 3 red stars and 3 gold foil stars. And there'll also be a little piece of an adhesive sheet. Pull back the cover, put your die cuts on them. It will make them sticky, and it keeps them from disappearing. I know, they have a quite a good disappearing act. I know, it happens a lot to me. A piece of red sheer ribbon, which will go on the front, and a ribbon bow. There will also be some other embellishments that I'll show you later on. So, let me just show you the card very quickly. You'll notice that I have done some sponging or brushing around the edge, and I'll do that on the inside as well. And I have already done the inside, but we're going to do this. We're going to do the sponging, but I'm not going to do it with a sponge, and I'm not going to do it with a finger dauber. I'm going to do it with the lovely new brushes. And this has changed my world for brushing, for creating backgrounds. It just is mind-boggling. Just to protect the surface, I'll put a piece of paper down. Now I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz. And I've just recently re-inked my ink pad, so it's going to be juicy on here. So it's a good practice to just dab the excess ink off your brush, come to the side, and just, now you can hold on to it like this, whatever's comfortable for you. And come in from the side and go. And you just apply some color to the edges. Now you'll still need your finger dauber for applying color to smaller edges. But man, I love these brushes. There. That didn't take long, did it? And it has such a wow factor. So now I want to be stamping, excuse me, and I'm going to use, the stamp set that we use is called, excuse me, gotta get a drink of water. The stamp set that is used for this and other projects for the Christmas class to go is the Words of Cheer stamp set, and its coordinating dies, the Christmas pardon me, must have been the water, Christmas cheer dies. And I'm also, because it's a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to use my stamping pad. And I'm going to start with, got all my stamps on their blocks here, the flower stamp. And I want to stamp it right here. But what I want to do is my designer paper, my little piece of designer paper that, here it is. Just want to lay it on the edge. I want to position it so that the stamp is over here, the designer paper is here, and then our other embellishment is going to be here. I like to plan out the layout of my cards before I actually do too much. So I can put those aside. We'll do the stamping. I'm going to stamp it with mossy metal. And I leave it for a few seconds to make sure that the ink is transferred to the paper. And then lift straight up. Oh, that's beautiful. While that is drying, I'm going to add this to the side. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. And while I'm at it, I'm going to add the ribbon to the side. And I'm going to do that. I've got some Scotch tape. I'm going to add some tape to the back. Now I can also do the Stampin' Seal if I didn't have any Scotch tape. Just bring it around to the back. Some tape. And at the front, you want to make it firm, but not so firm that your paper's going to buckle like that, okay? It's just firm, and then you get another piece of Scotch tape. Perfect. All right, I think that's dry now. And I will get my Stampin' Blends. I'm using Real Red and Soft Succulent. The Real Red is for the flowers, both the dark and the light, and the Soft Succulent for the leaves. And I'm going to start, I'm just going to do one flower and one of the leaves, and then I'll turn the camera off while I finish. I'll do the small. I'm going to start by just coloring the whole flower in with the light. And I'm not fussing. Then I'll take my dark and just, what I always say to people, you apply it just a little bit and where the sun don't shine, because that's where the shading is going to be. And then you want to blend the two colors together, and that takes place better when the inks are wet. There. Now, I'll just do one leaf with you. The ivy leaf I'm going to do with the dark succulent. And I'm not going to fuss. I'm just going to add a little bit of color to it. And for the smaller ones, these, I'm just going to take, I'm just going to do little strokes. And those little berries, I'll just do a few here. And you know, you can leave some white spots. That's okay. All right, I'm going to finish that. Just a progress note to show you that I've done the flowers, and I'm now going to start doing the leaves. There, I have finished the flower. Now, I am going to put some little embellishments in the center, too. We'll do that after I add it to the card front. Now, I'm going to add these two letters, sentiment letters together. Get my little poke tool and get rid of these little things in here. And I thought I saw one here as well. Yep. Okay. Now I'll get my, I saw my silicone mat here. Here it is. Well, that was it. It disappeared on me. Reminds me of some people when I'm ready for supper, they disappear. Okay. Well, I will just have to do it this way. And my Tombow has been giving me grief, so I have a little pin here. At least I did. Okay, let's hope I can do this. Oh, here's my silicone mat. It was right under my nose. That happens a lot too. There we go. We want it not to put too much Tombow on. Now, some people, and you may be one of them, that you have a sponge that you put some Tombow in a little container or on the edge of your work, pick the glue up with a sponge and then dab it to your sentiment. You can do that too. There. Now, that goes there. So I'll just add a little bit of Tombow on the back, and might as well put that there while we're there. And while we're on the front, we might as well do the stamping. I'm going to stamp the word Christmas. I have a little sentiment right there, and I'm going to use real red ink. Yeah, good. Perfect. I have the dropsies. I am going for surgery on Tuesday on my neck. Apparently I have some compression in the spinal cord, and one of the symptoms of that is I'm dropping things. So if I'm dropping things, that's what it is. Yeah, I'll be out of commission for a little while. I don't know how long. But today is July the 31st. My surgery is August the 3rd. Oh, that's a little bit crooked. Now, I think I'm ready to add that to the card front. Make sure I don't add it upside down. And while I'm at it, I might as well add the embellishments. These embellishments I thought would be perfect. It's called the Wonderful Gems. And these light ones I thought would be perfect for in there. And there's two sizes, a larger and a small. And I think the large one will go in the center of the larger flower. And these smaller ones in the smaller. So these embellishments will be in your kit as well. Now, I would like to use some some red ones too. As long as I stay within the rule of odd numbers, that means I can have one more. Well, and here. I think that looks good. I'm almost tempted to do another one, but I'm going to stop there. So let's work on the inside. I've already applied the designer paper to the inside, and I've stamped one of the flowers that are made with the stars. It's a poinsettia, and I will show you how to do that. I've made one, and I'll show you how to do the others. We're going to use this and this and this for the leaves. Now I'm also going to use one of these as a mask. You can use whatever you have available. It could just be a little piece of photocopy paper, whatever. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Now I'm going to stamp this with Pear Pizzazz, but because I re-inked my ink pad, it's going to be too dark for me, so I'm just going to stamp off, and I'll stamp for my third flower. That's the base. Now before I do the rest of the flower, I want to stamp the leaf, and I'll do that. This is the outline leaf. I'm going to stamp this with Mossy Meadow. Now the reason I do this is there's stems on here, and I don't want them stamp that over the flower, so I'll just cover up the area that I don't want it to be stamped on. There we go. And instead of coloring it with a marker, I'm going to cover it with it. This is a filler stamp. It's solid, and I'll use Pear Pizzazz, and I'll stamp off, and I'll just fill in the leaf. There. Now for the rest of the flower, I'm using the stars that I asked you to put on that adhesive sheet at the beginning of the video. And I'm using my pick tool, and I'll pick up these. Remember, these are now stickers. And I don't know if you can see, but there's some little points here. And the points from the star, almost knocked my chair over there. And I'll match them up. And I'll do the same for the other flower. Now the gold will be on top. Just as well pick it up through the hole in the middle, and then I'll offset the petals. There. Now we have poinsettias made out of stars. Now for the sentiment in the center, I will be stamping that with red ink, real red ink. And I just want to make sure, and I have some ink on my block. You want to make sure that you don't have that, or you'll ruin your work. I'll just check to make sure. Yep. No ink on the block. There. And my pussycat just joined me here. I have two, a black one called Inky, and this one that's with me now is an orange tabby and is called Pascal. And he hears me talking, so he has to come up and see what I'm doing. You may see a little orange nose peeking up through, maybe yes, maybe no. He's very interested in what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but that is too small. Okay, mistakes do happen, and this is one of them. And rather than doing the whole video over again, I just quickly made up another insert. It's not exactly the same, but there. So now I'm just going to add the ribbon or the bow at the front, and I'll use that with a glue dot. And I think this is a good place for it right here. And there. And so there we have our card. We just have to do the envelope. This is a regular business envelope, and we have some designer paper that is 1 1/4 by 10, and we'll just add that to the flap. And I'll use my Tombow if it's working. Okay, it is. One advantage of using Tombow is that you do have that little couple of seconds where you can maneuver. You just want to make sure that it is not sticking over the edges. Okay, then on the wrong side, you take your scissors and you cut off the excess. There. So we have the card is completed. We have an envelope that matches. This is mine. This was the sample. And this is a project for the MP Designs Class to Go, the Christmas class. I hope you enjoy making your card, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. Thank you very much.